Hey Spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here, and welcome back to Old World. And this episode we're going to heavily be focusing on getting our empire stabilized. We're having a bit of a discontent spiral. If I go ahead and click on the city, you can see here it has minus 10 discontent per turn. And every time that discontent goes up, our city takes greater and greater penalty, most notably with the opinion of these noble families. Now, we've been able to kind of get by for now, but now it's becoming so overwhelming that it's hard to manage. Over 340 negative opinion from discontent. So I need to stop the bleed and reverse course. Now, some things that I can build to fix discontent are things like if I come over here and I go ahead and build a theater, this is minus 1 discontent per turn. So that's increasing the total happiness. This is going to be part of the focus here. The other big thing that we need to work on is getting our science up. Our science is okay right now, but if I go ahead and look at Egypt here, you can see they are learned, which kind of tells them that compared to us, they're quite a bit stronger than us scientifically. And basically everyone is slightly better than me scientifically right now, which is a bit of a problem. So we're going to have to rectify that. A big emphasis right now is also going to be on building up, I think, Ankara as a military production center. So building things like strongholds in here, that'll unlock the heavy chariot. That'll help us out quite a bit. Getting my luxuries up as well is going to buy me more time because I can give luxuries to my cities to buy me more time. And also potentially getting a religion here. Now, my question is Judaism my state religion? I don't remember. Is Judaism my state religion? Yes, it is. Okay, I couldn't remember that. So spreading Judaism is another thing that I can do to get our state religion, get that under control, right? Get things in a little bit of a better position. So to that end, I could go ahead and start building Jewish disciples to spread the religion around. Now, I don't know if that's exactly what I want to do, but I am also about to finish monasticism. And monasticism will give us access to monasteries, and monasteries are a way to convert wood production into science, and that's going to be big. So I think I want to start building some disciples where it makes sense, where cities are available, where they're ready to build them. I'm going to have to force march this elephant over to take this on. I've got not a lot of time to take this on, but that's okay. I can take it next turn for certain. Cyprus is now clear as well, so we can get full control of the city, and I don't know what I'm going to do with the city. It'll probably be like a gold production city or something. We shall see what it all works out to require. Let's get our stronghold in Ankara, and I think I would like to put a governor. Well, I don't have the orders to do that, right? Orders. We're going to be entering into the next phase of our orders economy. We will start having a lot more orders soon, because we're starting to build our strongholds, we're getting our last few garrisons up, and we're going to need those orders to sustain the sheer amount of workers that I'm currently sitting on. I can't actually tell you. Okay, we've got a tribal raid. Now, I assume this one is coming from the place to the north in Crimea. The Egyptian royal family is visiting, so I can make friends. I think I'll make friends with both of them. Thankfully, I'm charming, so I can get the good outcome. Usually these events, they have like an outcome that has a good and bad component. And it's basically who do you want to upset? But if you're a character with a particular trait, sometimes you could just get the all positive option. Yep, so there's a raid coming here. Now, I don't believe this thing can attack. Actually, it might be able to. I think it is melee, though. So I might have to attack them at sea if I can. But at the very least, I might make use of it. So what would I like to do in Termessos? It could be good to get more olives in control. Urban specialists are kind of like something I'm missing out on, though, is a little bit of a problem I have. And also the city needs a governor. There's not a lot of really good governors here. I mean, King Consort, my husband might be okay. He'll give the city a lot of training. He'd probably be better off in charge of Ankara if he's allowed. Although he does negatively affect the culture in here. Yeah, I'll put him in charge. I'll put him in charge of that city. It's good to have him in the city because then he's leveling up, right? He's like gaining experience. Do I have anyone really young I could put in charge of the city? Not really. No, I'll just leave the city idle. I won't put anyone in charge of it. Sometimes that is the right choice to make. It's just nobody gets to command the city. I would like to expand the city out into this central area a little bit. So I am going to put a hamlet. No. I want to put a hamlet on this tile right here. And then I should be able to build an urban tile here and an urban tile here. And then potentially another hamlet like somewhere there. And then I can start producing a little. I don't know. This is kind of what I'm looking at. Or maybe I'll urbanize the coast. I haven't fully decided. I might just dodge going for the paganist route and just accept that I'm going to have a crappy pagan religion and go all in on Judaism. I think I'm going to go all in on Judaism because it has kind of worked out between me and Egypt. All right, let's have a little bit of a think in here. I think treasuries are good. What helps me right now with this city? What does the city need? It's got major discontent problems. If I were to go all the way to an elder poet, they are quite good long term. A stonecutter would give me extra civics. I could also build a Jewish disciple in here and start getting my monasteries and stuff. And I like the idea of the Jewish disciple, so that's the route I'm going to go. Nice, we got our first garrison here. And now the way to build these is to go like garrison or stronghold, and then with like 2 barracks in between them, and then the garrison, the stronghold again. But like, we don't need to optimize to that level. I mean, I'll try. There is like a super optimal build path, but I don't think it's like completely necessary to do that. There is such a thing as like over optimizing. And that you don't see the forest for the trees, right? Because you're focused so much on the optimization of things that you miss out on like the bigger picture of the fact that you just don't have enough wood income, right? Because you're like building super optimized mining economies. And now the price of wood has hit like 20 and your empire is crippled. Now the cool thing about camps, if I remember correctly, is that they do boost adjacent lumber mills. But this is also just, I guess, I can't build another hamlet in here until the culture level goes up. And the culture is not too far off of going up. And I wanted to build a hamlet over here so I could build another little urban center on this river. There's a couple of like good spots for things. So maybe a quarry and a couple of lumber mills make sense here. Yeah, I'll grab that lumber mill. It's a 6 wood per turn. It's not amazing, but it's like of acceptable quality levels. Oh, I think I forgot to finish off this camp. Oops. Okay, they're in the water now, so I should be able to intercept them. That's a little bit of a mistake because he just spawned a warlord. So we could do a grain dole in Sinope, which will lower the discontent. I think that's good enough. Or I could just straight up lower the... I think the grain dole is super good. It's very, very cheap, and it's a huge amount of discontent to lose over time, so I'm going to go ahead and take that. I do have a little bit of a problem in that I need to... Am I willing to sacrifice a spearman for the sake of clearing this camp? I think I am. And so we found a young hostage. We can return it to the Numidians and gain ourselves a gracious trait, which will increase our civic production. That's quite good. I can adopt the child. I can have him as a political prisoner, or I can refuse the tribal reward and hold him as a prisoner. I think I'm going to go ahead and return him to get that gracious trait. That's a good trait. So yeah, I might lose a spearman for this, but that's okay. I think that's a small price to pay, honestly. So if we look at the city of Hattusa, we just completed that worker that we wanted to get the stronghold and stuff up, I think it was. What was it we were getting in here? I think it was a stronghold. It sounds vaguely familiar. Half an order per turn, I will take it. And you might be thinking, like, half an order per turn, whoop-de-doo. But yeah, whoop-de-doo, it's really good. It's really, really good. So I need to start increasing the number of urban tiles, especially in Tarsa. This city is suffering heavily discontent from not having enough urban tiles. And also training specialists, which is kind of what I'm working on too. Now I have spare pearls, and I think I could send it to my capital again. Because I'm just trying to build up like a giga city here. On the other hand, maybe there's another city where it could be worthwhile sending them to... Let's have a quick look around. Nah, I'm going to send it to my capital. I want like the giga city in here. I want that discontent to be like negative. I want it to go away. All right, I forgot to attack my Byreme. Whoops. Position him here and then grab ourselves a extra order so we can thin these guys out as they come in for the attack. I do have a couple of units in the area, mostly slingers and spearmen and stuff, and I should be able to defeat this with the assistance of the Byreme this time. How's Egypt doing in the war, by the way? That's something I haven't checked up on. It looks like they're holding, actually. The screen kind of jumped away there, but if I go check it out, like, oh my god, stop. Yes, you killed him. Well done. Trying to look at this war. I guess I should just wait. A couple of people are converting to different religions. That's good. Okay, I can get 800 civics. That could be good for passing a couple of laws. Ooh, getting access to courthouses. This could be big. 20% civic boosts in my cities. Access to scribes. Quite good. I think you can get up to a total of a 100% civic boosts in the city if you build the courthouse, ministry, and the palace. Quite powerful to get access to. I've been oh man, one turn for a civics boost. Or do I take rally troops? I gotta take the barracks. I'm so behind in military production. I need to be able to like up that. Oh, taking back the camp spawned a unit? Really? Okay. All right then. If that's how you want to play the game, that's how we can play the game. I will play the game. Okay, we finally finished the trapper in Anqua, which means I can now come over to Kasaran family and send them fur. Boom. That is the legacy completed. So now we're up to 6 out of 10 ambitions. And we can also send a honey to the Nanasan family, and that should be, boom, their discontent taken care of a little bit. So we're managing our relationships pretty well here. Now, I don't believe that I have the holy city for Judaism, so I don't think I can build a Temple of Solomon here. Although I should actually be keeping an eye out for wonders that I can build, because I'm pretty sure that I have the culture. Yeah, I could build a museum, for example. It's just a matter of resources and gold. The wood is the big problem. I would have to start aggressively chopping wood to do this. I could do it though. The wood exists. Also, I haven't built roads, and at this point, I'm afraid to do it. But yeah, aggressively chop wood. Just to open up the option of the museum, to be honest with you. Another big thing is to get these treasuries up. Get these treasuries up, get that gold production up, get closer to that, although gardeners also potentially are good. More luxuries to give, sell, or distribute to my cities. Our first Jewish disciple is ready. Now, the thing about the Jewish monastery is it does boost adjacent groves, and I think it gets boosted by adjacent temples. So you kind of want to build it like if we go ahead and check out the temple boosts this, and then cathedrals. Okay, so yeah, I think I want to go like monastery temple or something like that. So let's buy an order. We'll move you here, and we'll get started on our very first Jewish monastery. There it is. Ooh, these are expensive in wood, actually. Maybe I should hold off if I'm going to build the museum. Okay, we'll hold off on that until I build the museum. Instead, we'll just get the wood cutting train to continue. Bunch of people converting to Judaism. Good. I can adopt a new person. Yeah, let's adopt. Ooh, I could gain a mercenary spearman. Nice. Mercenary spearmen do not belong to a house. That's like really quite good. And it looks like one of my governors is ready to level up. I could level him up in terms of military things or path. He's in a city with a lot. Tarsa, I believe, has a lot of nets. So upgrading Pathfinder would give him extra 6 growth and 30 food per turn, which is huge. My Chancellor has leveled up, and the consequences of that would be extra growth and science, or extra civics, or I think I'll take the growth and science. That growth and science is quite good. So unfortunately, the Thracians took back this outpost. I'll get it sorted, don't worry. I'll get it sorted, Copium. So I think the big lack that I have is wood. So I think I can run along this coastline and just do a triple chop. It gets me closer to the museum. Now, it would be really cool to build the Colossus, but holy crap, is iron expensive right now. And I do not have enough gold stored. But the museum is definitely in reach, especially because my stone income is so good and I have the ability to chop with like any unit that I want. Egypt now at truce with the Numidians. More conversions to Judaism, all good stuff. I have access to a new tech. I could go for temples here. Now, temples cost what to produce? They cost stone. They're quite good. Let's have a look. What does the Jewish temple get me? It gets you 3 culture, an order, and opinion with Judaism, and enables the priest guy who lowers discontent. This could be another way for me to start to lower my discontent. I could alternatively pick up archers. It would be nice to have a real ranged unit. I noticed that was a huge problem in the war that I had, so that's going to be necessary here. Sutarna needs to level up. I don't think Carpenter is really very good here. I think I will take Cultivator. Extra culture and food seems quite good. I'm going to train a couple of fishermen in this city to keep the growth strong. But the big thing for me right now is wood. Wood. I need as much wood as I can get. I'm a fiend for wood right now. I'm a wood fiend, okay? I'm like a weevil. Do weevils eat wood? I actually don't know. Speaking of war, Egypt has pushed back Assyria. Now I wonder, what do you mean I don't follow Judaism? Have I not chosen to... Oh, I should convert my religion to Judaism. If I convert to Judaism, this will improve my relationship with all Jewish characters in the world. So this is just like good to do. Yeah, look at that. Boom. Positive relations with Queen Nebebebe. Positive relations with the head of the Judaism faith. Okay, so we finished a quarry. We have the potential to gain, a warrior and a slinger. We could gain a chariot. Or we could gain a bunch of science. This is like 1 turn's worth of science. Not very good. The legitimacy is okay. I think I would like to take the units. Yeah, I'll take the chariot and the culture. Boom. Easy choice. Looks like one of my fearmen has received number... thingy, so I can gain experience, or I can spend 5 orders and get more experience next turn. I know this event. I'm just going to take the XP because that event is not good enough in terms of what it offers. Now, one problem that I have is a lot of my cities are using their civics for things, so my civic production is really low. That's okay for now, but I really want the museum because that gives you +1 civic per elder specialist in your empire, and I will eventually have a decent amount of those. So let's position our worker to build that. Oh, sorry, don't cancel that stronghold. Never mind, I won't position a worker to do that yet. I will, however, get an amphitheater in Sinope, partially because this will expand the borders massively in here, and partially because I want that culture and I want the discontent reduction. This city's in a pretty good place in terms of discontent. It's only got plus 3.6, which means we can start to reverse this trend very soon. Oh, finally I can start to build barracks and stuff. Now, the nice thing about building barracks next to a garrison is it will give you 0.1 order per turn, which adds up over the course of the game, right? Like if you optimize this correctly, if you build 2 barracks next to 2 garrisons, each barracks gives you like 0.2 orders, which is pretty good. Like that's not bad. Not amazing, it's not game breaking, it doesn't change the world, but it's not bad. And to be honest with you, if you can make a sequence of not bad choices in your life, you're doing not bad. All right, here comes the invasion. They're on my border. Unfortunately, they can heal while moving at sea, which is a little bit unfortunate. A couple of converts, a couple of people dying, a couple of people being born. All stuff we don't have to worry about. Oh God. Duke, who is this? My second in line? He's doing something. He will die. Boom. Okay, I had a little bit of an issue there. So I can send money to the Assyrians to improve their relationship with me. Or I can provoke them. I think it would be good to... Well, I don't want to send him money because I'm trying to save my money. I can let him become suspicious of us. Or I can let him become vengeful against us and get extra courage. I'll take the vengeful route. I mean, last time I provoked this area, nothing went wrong. So, I mean, like, what could possibly go wrong this time, right? To that end, do I want to build a heavy chariot? That's a good question. Or do I want to build a camel archer? I could run festivals to try to cut down on my discontent. It's a very slow way to stop your discontent, but it's also quite effective. I might have to do it soon. I'll grab a forum first, because I can get tier 3 forums and treasuries next turn. So in fact, I'll just do 1 turn of council too. A council is like a 1-turn project that just boosts the output of your city for a turn. So it can be very useful to run at the correct moment. Like here, if I really wanted money to try and finish this ambition, pumping money right now could be quite good. Discontent in this city is negative. To that end, running festivals would be actually pretty huge in here. It would get this growth and negative science penalty down. Like, what's the city? The city's losing 20% of this science right here. That's huge. Like, this governor is bringing in what? Like an extra 7 science? One thing I've also neglected is building walls will also lower discontent. And the more negative discontent I have in the city, the more of these luxuries I can free up to give to other cities. So I'll quickly grab walls in here. Okay, I have so much food that I think I can sell a lot of it. Like, I mean a lot of it. To hit that 10,000 gold mark and satisfy that ambition, get that 10 legitimacy, and then start actually spending that gold on important things. What those important things are, I haven't quite decided yet, but there definitely exists a potential important thing that I could be buying. Now, what kind of city do I want to plant here? This might be like a gold specialist city. There's not going to be many rural improvements here. That's the thing to take into account. This is mostly going to be a city. There's going to be scarce little actual production resources going down in here. I'll pop down a trader city here. It's coastal, kind of fits the theme of a trader city. All right, I need to buy a bunch of orders here to get my units in position for this battle. So you move there. Can you attack into the water? Oh, you can. That's interesting. Ah, okay. Well, that makes this quite a bit easier to be able to defend the coast. So I'll wait till they land and then I'll bring the spearmen into fight too. But mostly my empire is looking okay. I mean, I'm quote-unquote winning in terms of culture, and I'm hoping that I can continue to extend that lead. Ah, they blew up a couple of my improvements. That sucks. A couple of people died. We got a strong culture event in Anqua, so we could get a burst of culture, we could get a burst of civics, we could get a burst of gold, or minus 40 discontent. What's the discontent like in Anqua? It's pretty bad, so I think the discontent reduction isn't great. I'll take the civics because my civics production is quite low right now. And there is a demand by the Nanasan landowners for us to control 4 wonders. This is actually something we could probably do because I do plan to build a 3rd wonder. And it won't be long until my capital is of legendary culture. And then I could build a legendary culture wonder. So this could be a close ambition. Like, we only need to do 3 more ambitions and we win the game. So there's like a huge potential here for us to steal the game by building the museum like I'd planned. Now this is going to cost me 100 gold. Let's chop some wood. Let's save that gold cost here. It's basically a way to convert orders into gold really efficiently. So now that's going to be the museum. That's going to be worth 8 culture and 12 science per year and 2 victory points. That's big. Now, this particular game Just to be clear, it probably should be obvious, but I went for a very wide build. Like I went for a lot of individual cities. And so just keep that in mind. If you're like, oh, this is how you should play. This was a very wide build. I think my next game, I'll probably go for a thinner build. So I can kind of show you that you don't have to have infinite cities to win the game. We're going to go ahead and clear out the barbs from Sinope fairly easily. Can I get a slinger over just to finish this? Yeah, just get rid of this. And then we can redirect and actually take this city as well. I am going to start running festivals to bring down my discontent. I need to fight back against it. Now, running festivals only just barely clears out the discontent that I'm accumulating. But I don't think I need a bigger military right now. My main opponent has been completely dismantled by Egypt, so I can play extremely greedy. Let's keep on cutting trees down so that we can fuel our construction of temples. A few people have died and converted to Judaism, as is expected now at the start of a turn. So we've got a gift of labor. He owes a favor to me, so I can add a farm and gain a worker. Okay. So I can call in a favor here, essentially. And this is in the city of Salamis. Now, where is Salamis is the question. Let's have a look around. It is this new city. Well, then I don't really want to call in a favor, do I? Nah, I'm not. I'll keep your gift. I don't want your favor. We got a strong culture event. We could use additional iron. Iron is quite expensive right now. So this is actually a huge value. This is like nearly 2,000 gold value in iron. So I have someone in charge of the city. Let's go ahead and give her intelligent. Ooh, civics though. Civics are so good. I'll take those civics. And let me train these specialists faster. Speaking of specialists, I definitely want some poets. The city's culture is very low. Although, actually, no, it's a strong culture, so it's actually doing really, really well. Maybe I should. I think I should train some woodcutters. A for the science and B for the wood. Mostly the wood, honestly. Or, sorry, mostly for the science. The wood is just an extra little byproduct. Let's grab ourselves finally, we can build ourselves a monastery and get access to monks and priests and stuff. Monka-S. Oh, wait, no, there's actually hold on. Undo. There's such a good monastery over here. It's adjacent to 2 groves. That's big. Huge. Yep, I'll build another monastery. They're quite expensive, but I will. They're worth it because they're worth civics and science in exchange for wood. And they also enable the monk. I talked about the monk before, but he's really, really good for getting you civics and lowering discontent and just getting... They're just really, really good. Just trust me on that one. Healing up my military over here. Now, question. I think my boat can attack coastally. Okay. So I did not know that this boat could actually attack onto land. All right. I have actually learned a few things in this playthrough. Because usually I play on a slightly lower difficulty level, so I don't have to play the game to quite as high a level as I've had to attempt here. I don't think I've played the game at a high level, but I've definitely attempted. I made an effort. Yeah, more strongholds. Strongholds need to start going down. I need those orders. So another Jewish monastery, and I have a huge gold amount banked, so I can straight up buy the resources I need to place things. Amphitheater, that's huge. Actually, I need the amphitheater. Again, I can just spend the money. Cost me 355 gold. It'll say it like around here. But this is another 2.5 discontent. Brings the city down into a more manageable level in terms of discontent, and should in theory make it so that I can control the happiness in here. Discontent is a bit of a problem in here. One more gardener for another luxury. Speaking of luxuries, I've got furs and olives available to give away. All of my own personal families are super happy with me. The only thing I'm really missing is salt, but I don't think I've actually found salt in this game. It usually spawns in like arid areas. Like I think there's some salt here. No, it's marble. So the benefit of having a really happy opinion with your people is their combat units are better and their units cost less upkeep. So quite handy to have really good relationships with them. So these spare luxuries, I think they will go towards cities that are close to having negative discontent. And since Ankua is now running festivals, I think it would be a good idea to send furs and olives here. So I'll send both. That'll bring the discontent down to a much more manageable level. And as I run festivals, I'll start to roll back the city's discontent to a more manageable level. There's a new head of Christianity, and the Thracians have converted. My brother-in-law is the ambassador, so I could level him up. This would lower... He's giving a culture penalty to every city in my empire right now. So if I were to level up his wisdom, that culture penalty would be lessened. And I think I will do that. It's a lot of culture across my empire, individually in each city. it's not significant, but across the entire empire, it's huge. Hattusa built walls. Do I have a... I do not have a house military unit here. I could get one. I think this militia should count. So if I put a militia in this city, yeah, defending family unit -1. Perfect. Or was that already there? Oh yeah, no, it's already there. Never mind. We already have a defending family unit. So, oh, you know what it is? I think these mercenary units, they count as wildcards. They don't actually have to be of the house, like mercenaries count. Now the culture in here is about to go into legendary status. It's about 6 turns away, which will allow me to build tier 4 treasuries and stuff like that. If I go in here to the forum, I can kind of show you this. You can see here, forum 4 gives you 8 civics per turn and -1 discontent. The question is, should I just run a bunch of festivals instead to bring the discontent down to 0? And that's a hard choice. I think building up the forums in here is a good move. It gives the city a bunch of civics that I can bring forward. Now looking at Byzantium, we built more gardeners. I could build an apprentice officer if I wanted to build up the military production of this sector. I think I'm going for like an economic victory here, so I'm kind of being greedy, which is maybe like a dangerous way to play. Remember how that played out for us? The city has so much growth that it feels wrong not to just like continue to maximize how much growth it has. Hell yeah. Still got huge discontent in here because we still need more urban tiles. We have fought back against it slightly, and I think training more specialists will continue to help. Yeah, level 8 discontent in this city. That is terrible. This city definitely needs olives. I'm going to go ahead and send olives here. Bring that discontent down slightly. Jesus. All right, let's go second hamlet over here so we can expand the city center beyond the mountain range. I mean, we have coastline still available, but it's always good to have options. And I'm going to be digging into my cash flow here to make up for my stone and wood deficits that I'm running. But I mean, those deficits have paid off. I'm also going to get myself a couple of granaries here. Granaries are great because they increase the growth production of the city, but they also give you a 60% boost for adjacent farms. So if I build a granary here, if I hover over this, can I not show you this? Yeah, look, it'll get me a bunch of, it'll get me like 12 food and 4 growth-ish for building the granaries. This is like a great time. You want to put your granaries next to your farming resources. Took me a while to get them unlocked and built, but it's finally all coming together. Another year, another technology. I could unlock mangonels or onagers if I wanted to go on the offensive. I think I'm going to get the courthouse. It gives you access to a huge amount of civics boost. I talked about it earlier. You can get nearly double the civics in your city if you build all 3 tiers of the courthouse. All of my workers are working away. I've got 15 workers churning away, and I've got more getting into position. I'm finally getting the kind of like construction capacity that I've been looking for the entire game. Ooh, I do have access to building ranges now, although they're just basically like barracks that take wood instead of iron. Wood's a little bit... is it harder to come by? I guess it is. I've got all my workers working away now, just building... I think you don't need updates on my workers. I think you just need like general updates, but I'm moving military in position to capture this city. I am going to maybe start thinking about war, because I'm at the stage of the game now where my economy will start to explode and produce very, very quickly. We're in like the snowball phase of the game. Is if you can survive this long, your economy is usually like insane. And so to that end, it's all about like wrapping up loose ends, making sure that I have good scouting information, good knowledge of the world, all those sorts of things. Making sure my relationship with my houses are looked after, making sure the relationships with my allies are looked after. For example, I could do a trade mission to Egypt. Yeah, let's do a trade mission to Egypt. This will give my ambassador something to do. This is something I criminally underutilize in my game, is doing these missions. It's just I tend to find that they're quite expensive and they don't yield too much. Now, one big problem I have, and I kind of identified this earlier, is all of my cities are doing civics-based construction. So my civics income is really, really low. But my hope is once I have citizenship, I'll be able to increase my civic production to the point where that won't be a problem anymore. And I'm known as the Fountainhead. We managed to finish a wonder and build a bunch of constructions. More people are converting to Judaism. Let's see, I can estrange Babylon and increase my opinion with my own family. I think internal diplomacy matters more to me than external. I could improve relationship with Assyria. I don't care. I'll take the experience. There's a new governor for the city of Tarsa. She's quite young, Oligarch Istaparia of Tarsa, and she'll give the city extra growth, although the city doesn't need growth. But I mean, it can't hurt. It could hurt. It can hurt. In fact, it could be really counterproductive. Okay, so positioning, galley on the coast, step back with the slinger, step forward with the elephant, jab. We got the crit. We get the kill with the horse with the camel archer. Let me just have a think here. If I move this spearman forward, he will take full damage from that skirmisher. If I leave him in the forest, he'll only take a little bit of damage. So I think I would prefer to have the spearmen in this forest and to attack this. And then we'll just wait until next turn until we can do a little bit of a reposition. Ankua did another festival, so it's bringing down that discontent. And I think that's kind of key here, is getting that discontent down. City has really, really bad growth. That's something to consider. So I've got a string of hamlets. Ooh, actually, I need to repair these tiles real quick. Repair the Odeon, and then repair that fishing boat. The governor of Sinope has died in office. We'll need a new governor for Sinope. Make sure we get that tile repaired. Now we need to deal with this. So, big damage on this guy if I do this attack. The elephant can near kill him. He will panic him. I can move forward with the slinger, get some serious damage on the city itself. Sinope, why don't you go ahead and get me a settler once you're done with that woodcutter so we can actually take the city location. Tyrus got itself a master poet. I'm thinking of upgrading it to an elder poet. How long until the museum is done? 10 years. It's a long time. We got all the fishing nets in here. I just need to reduce the amount of citizens in the city. The city just has stupid growth and no room to actually grow to. It's a big problem. Speaking of stupid growth, let's get a couple of workers in here. Maybe a couple of workers can build tiles fast enough to alleviate this problem. I doubt it. Press X to doubt. Now, unfortunately, I don't have temples unlocked, but I don't need temples to do what I need to do here. It's a good Jewish monastery over here. Oh, the city doesn't have Judaism. Let's make a couple more Jewish disciples. I'll spread Judaism here. Must be adjacent to site and not be at war? What? Oh, spread Judaism to Byzantium. I see. So that costs you a guy, but having a religion in a city gives you culture and discontent benefits, so it is worth it to use a unit for that. Usually it can be worth it. It's not always worth it, but it can be worth it. Amphitheater and Ankua will continue to reduce the discontent issues. Although then again, actually what I wanted to do here was to send a worker over here to put down a hamlet. But I need more orders to do that. And then I can put the amphitheater here. Right? Yeah. Master Poet completed. Didn't I not already say Elder Poet? Go Elder Poet. I got nothing else. Well, maybe I should run festivals here to keep abreast of my discontent. I mean, if I'm going to do that, I should get a forum and then do a festival, because the forum will speed up the rate at which I do festivals slightly. So Babylon sniped the Colossus. I did want to try to squeeze that in, but I didn't think I was going to be able to get it. We could spend money to get dyes, or we could get gems. I think I'm going to take gems because it's a unique resource that I don't already have. This is basically just like a trading event. Ooh, it actually added a gems tile. Cool. Let's go improve that. So now I got to ask myself the question, now that I have a Jewish monastery in my capital, is it worth it to go ahead and build a master monk / elder monk? So I need to put into effect 3 more laws before I can build a citadel. And citadels are great. They give you another half order. They're quite expensive in terms of stone, but they also lower the maintenance cost of the city, so they're quite handy in that way. And this is why you build granaries next to your farms. This farm is bringing in 5.4 growth, and if I were to build a specialist here, it would be another 3.7. That's huge, and I can do that in both of these, and combined it's an insane amount of growth in this city. Like, it's already up to 49 growth per turn. It is cranking out citizens. It's going to be huge. So I failed the legacy, but that was all part of the plan. Like, it was intended. I can improve relationship with Persia, or gain a bunch of money. I have plenty of money, so I'll just improve my relationship with them. We did finally meet Persia, however. And they are actually far in the lead, which is interesting. Let's finally clear out this Thracian post. Well, I say finally, I cleared it out before. I don't want any more discontent. Oh, citizens kind of suck too, but I'll take the citizens. Hattusa got its Forum 3, which means it's time for the Forum 4 now. That'll give us 8 civics per turn, and the second we finish citizenship, we should be able to start skyrocketing this city's civics per turn. It's going to be huge, actually. Another amphitheater to continue to reduce the discontent in here. Having amphitheaters next to these, what you call them, you know the things. The, the word escapes me. The, oh my god, the hamlets. It gives them so much extra discontent reduction. It's super good. It's super good. Especially if you can stack them in the correct way. Like, there's super optimal stuff you can do with the building placement. I've been kind of playing it willy-nilly and loosey-goosey. Okay, legendary culture event in Hattusa, which, and by the way, here's what cultures do. They eat at legendary. You eat 4 food per population, and 1 iron, 1 stone, and 1 wood per population. And depending on certain laws, you might get extra orders. But you do get extra 4 victory points for having a legendary culture, so it's not too bad. It also enables a bunch of wonders, which we plan to build. So I can change my class right now. Right now, I'm a tactician, and I don't love being a tactician. I mean, it does give me a lot of civics across my empire, which has come in very handy here. But if I were a schemer, I could adopt a child. Not very good. If I became a judge, I think I'll just take the XP to get a level. We got a strong culture event in Byzantium. Opinion boost with all families. I'll take the culture in Byzantium. That gets me closer to a potential win, depending on which way we want to win. +1 wisdom on my husband, who's the governor of Ankara. That's like a little bit of a science boost. Cheaper improvements is honestly better. So I'll take frugal. We've also got Azu Munikal, who's the governor of Hattusa, which is me. I could go for wisdom to increase my science even more. Could be quite handy. Courage or discipline. I think I'm going to go for the science. That feels like a very easy choice for me. Science has been one of the major bottlenecks here. I think I'm going to avoid going to war. We're now officially halfway through the game in terms of turns. Like, we're on turn 98. So we're just about there. Looks like my husband has died. I could get a free archer. I don't think I care about a free archer. I think I would. I care a lot about a temple. Let's have a look at the tech tree. So what does the portcullis lead to? The portcullis leads to architecture, which would get me access to cold baths, which would allow me to lower my discontent in my cities and get access to the doctor, who gives quite a bit of science. Otherwise, it's just some basic discontent reduction. Not bad. Like, in total, this is a total of 6 discontent. I could go for temples. Temples are quite good. Extra orders and culture. The priest itself reduces discontent too, and improves your religious opinion. Doctrine also leads to tolerance and orthodoxy. Tolerance will lower my discontent per non-state religion, which kind of fits with the dualism of Judaism. Or I could go for orthodoxy, which would allow me to purge world religions and allow me to hurry specialists with orders. I think I might go for doctrine here, but let's have a look at manor. Manor will give me Bodkin Arrow, which would unlock Longbowman. Conscripts are an upgrade to militia, so quite good in the mid-game. They can't be promoted or anything like that, but they are anti-cavalry at the very least, and they do have cleaves, so they're quite powerful. This would also give me access to professional army, which is a big experience boost for my units, or I could go for volunteers, which would allow me to hurry production with population. I think I'm going to go for doctrine here. I've gone for kind of a little bit of a secondary religious play here. My husband died. I'm not going to choose a new governor for that city. I think the main decision that I need to make this turn is which legendary wonder am I going for? That's the real question here. We have the Circus Maximus, 10 culture. Well, you know what? I'm going to make that decision in the next episode. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.